This weekend, let's see, a couple of days ago on the Tom Gresham Facebook page, you say there is a metric ton of nonsense being spewed in the media about guns in the United States. A popular lie, you write, is that we lead the world in mass shootings. Not even close, says Tom Gresham. Actually, the USA is 66th in the world on a per capita basis. What's the source of that information? And that flies in the face of everything every gun control advocate in the USA will tell you.
You think? Mm-hmm. Actually, I was surprised by that one. I looked it up under, the World Population website. I actually had the link in there with the post. And that's on a per capita basis. Now, the U.S. has the most in terms of total numbers, but we have a lot of population. But there are mass shootings all around the world. It happens pretty much anywhere and everywhere, depending on the definition of what a mass shooting is, of course. Some say 4 people killed. Some say 4 people shot. Just depends. The FBI uses the first one. And so according to the FBI, we have somewhere between 24 and 30 mass shootings a year. You know, the gun control folks will tell you it's hundreds and hundreds, but they change their criteria to inflate the numbers to frighten people. You know, and it's the old deal, guys, of if you can frighten the public enough, you can get them to agree to almost anything.
Which is an interesting point because the Dems are about to unleash. In fact, Aaron and I kind of went at each other a bit last week. Mm-hmm. That part of the Democrat gun control bill is going to be magazines can't hold 10 rounds or more. And you said, what? Mine is only 8. And I said, well, your clock is ticking. And there's a lot of people who don't believe that. And I said, well, you know what? There's people who have 10 rounds or more who didn't think there would ever be this kind of legislation. What kind of chances does it have?
I'm not sure, but just let me go back to your point there. Yeah, Aaron, you should know that New York passed a law that was 7 rounds, and that's all you could have. So, you know, they keep working their way down. Colorado has 15 rounds. They don't want you to have standard capacity magazines. Then some states have 10 rounds. New York went with 7 rounds. They're working their way to the perfect number when the perfect number is 0. So that's what you got there. The chances of that happening right now are not good. Right now, we're kind of focused on 2 bills that have already passed the House and going to the Senate, H.R. 8 and H.R. 1446. The first one is the so-called phony, mythical universal background check, and the other is the totally mythical, what do they call that one? The Charlotte loophole. It's so much nonsense, it's unbelievable. First of all, this so-called universal background check makes it a crime to loan a gun to a buddy to go duck hunting for the weekend. And then when he gives you back the gun, that becomes another crime if you didn't say, "Mother, may I?" to the FBI and let them do the background check.
But Tom, aren't there some reasonable Democrats who will say no to this nonsense?
Therein lies the question. There's one, maybe, Joe Manchin, possibly. The problem, and of course, the problem is, and I guess the good news is, we still have the filibuster in the Senate, and so they would have to get to 60. I think that's going to be difficult, somewhere between difficult and impossible currently. And the question is, are they willing to blow up the filibuster for this? I think some of them are, but I think enough of them are not going to make that happen. The other one, and this is a sneaky one, is the one where they say, well, we're going to go from a 3-day waiting period to a 10-day waiting period. But in the fine print, and this is the really important thing to understand, is right now, if the FBI background check doesn't come back and deny you, then after 3 days, the gun store can sell you the gun. Under the new law, it would be 10 days, but the gun store could not sell you the gun after that, and the 10 days could be extended and renewed indefinitely. So in point of fact, like a lot of states are doing now, they would just say, well, gee, we're just overwhelmed with COVID. We can't get around to those background checks. So no guns get sold because we're not issuing any approvals. So that's what's going on. It's taking up to a year right now in Illinois to get your firearms owner identification card.
And that's not where criminals are going to buy guns, right? That's not how they buy their guns, right?
They do not buy their guns that way, and they don't buy them at gun shows for the most part. Mostly what they do is they steal guns because, oh, yeah, they're criminals.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Tom, how's about taxes not only on guns, but ammunition specifically? That seems to be something that a circuitous gun control measure that is on the horizon. What do you think?
It has not only been discussed, it's been implemented in some areas. And some of the proposals are pretty incredible. 100% taxes on ammunition. Clearly, the whole idea is, look, if we can't ban guns, we will ban ammunition. They do, and people say, well, Joe Biden doesn't want to take away your guns. Well, except for the fact that he says he does all the time. If he says he wants to ban any kind of gun, that's taking it away. So if he wants, right now, he wants to ban the most popular guns in America, which would be semi-automatic rifles. But here's the other part. You know that pistol you have?
Yeah.
That falls under the assault weapons ban.
So they're coming for my gun.
Yeah, because it's a semi-automatic. And it would be the way they write it, they'll tell the media and the public, oh, this is only those scary-looking rifles. But when you read the actual copy in the bills, it's all semi-automatic firearms that could take a magazine that holds more than 10 rounds, and your gun certainly can.
So what do I have? What do I have to protect myself at home? A butter knife? Can I have that?
Maybe. In England you can't. You couldn't use a knife to protect yourself. That would put you in jail. So maybe that works. Here's the thing: they don't care. They don't care if you get raped. They don't care if you get murdered. They don't care if, as recently happened, 2 people break into your home and set you on fire and leave you to die. That's the kind of stuff that's happening. As long as they can achieve some sort of control, and it's all about gun control. Is not about controlling guns. It's about controlling people.
Yeah.
They just don't care. So you've done the right thing. You've gotten the training, and you got a gun, and you've taken responsibility for yourself. That's a responsible thing to do. They hate it when you're independent.